Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we've got a mod to showcase today, a brand new faction for the Ogre Kingdoms known as the Return of the Ironskin tribe, bringing in Ghark Ironskin, a character that many people were kind of hoping was going to be an FLC alongside the Chaos Dwarfs as they are quite related. But hey, the modders have come in and have brought in a quite unique Ogre faction. So before anything, let's just jump right into the faction effects and the lord effects, as there's quite a lot to talk about here. So by offering up prisoners to the Chaos Dwarfs, the Ironskin tribes can acquire infernal weapons and armor of twisted metal and fire. Ghark Ironskin has also forged an alliance with the Darwi Tsar and can unlock their reinforcement from his skill tree faction-wide. Diplomatic relations plus 20 with the Chaos Dwarfs, armor plus 20 for all armies, charge bonus plus 18 for Mournfang cavalry and Crusher units. This is for all armies once again. As you can tell, this is a quite powerful faction. And finally, for the Lord effects, we have armor plus 10 when fighting against Bretonnia for Lord's army, missile strength plus 15% for Lead Belcher and Iron Blaster units in Lord's army, and finally, physical resistance 8% for Lord's army. You can already see a bit of a power creep here, and it kind of makes sense considering that this is supposed to be like the strong ogre faction. Now, when we jump into the game itself, you can see that we're starting up very close to the Darwi Tsar in Saber Mountain. You're going to obviously be fighting against Kolek very early on. You've got quite a few enemies. Grimgor is obviously going to be a bit of an issue, but definitely a fun campaign. I've been playing this last night. It's quite enjoyable. You start off with 2 units of Noblars, 1 unit of Crushers, 2 units of Iron Guts, 2 units of Lead Belchers, and a Iron Blaster. Already, you've got a pretty stacked up army. In terms of unique skills, you have 2 unique skill lines, which is focused around building up your army really heavily. You can also get some Chaos Dwarf units through the Regiment of Renown pool, which is kind of linked up to the whole alliance thing. Ghark actually works a lot with the Chaos Dwarfs in an effort to, well, it's just very beneficial for both. You know, this is a pacified ogre, which is more than happy to trade for you as long as you're providing him with goodies. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting character. Very powerful, as you can tell from the stats. And yeah, pretty enjoyable. I've actually had quite a lot of fun. You can turn your army into an absolute devastating powerhouse. Now, the ogres already are very strong, but they get even stronger as you start having a little bit more fun, and you start leveling up and just progressing through your campaign rather naturally, which is pretty damn cool. Honestly, it adds in a breath of fresh air to the ogres, which kinda needed at the moment more than anyone else, I'd say. Well, not more than Norska, but you know what I mean. But let's just jump right into the other stuff, because there's a few different mechanics involved. As you can tell, there is some upgrades that you can get for your troops. These are all focused around a new resource, and this is something that you're just going to naturally progress through. It's not going to take too long to actually sort out, because as long as you're getting into battles, you're actually just getting the stuff that you need. And seeing as where you're located is pretty hostile, yeah, you're going to be getting into a lot of fights. Kolek very early on is going to be your big target, and then obviously then after that, Grimgor. The bonuses are pretty good overall. I'm just showing some examples. You will notice that it is a bit more expensive than the usual scrap mechanic because it's supposed to be its own thing. And yeah, I'm a big fan of reusing mechanics and just kind of updating them, giving them a breath of fresh air. It definitely does provide for a more unique ogre experience. The main mechanics, you know, camps, all the usual stuff is the same, and I think that's great. Yeah, ogres are fun. They just need a little bit of tweaks here and there just to make them a bit more fun, right? The ogres for this faction are getting their hands on a bunch of new units through the upgrade system, so the warband system that we're used to with the Warriors of Chaos, where you're going to be upgrading your standard ogres, all of the ones that are either on foot or mounted, barring your Lead Belchers, of course, who are strong enough as it is. There's a little bit of a visual issue here, but yeah, and also your Giants, by the way. But you're going to be able to turn them into Ironskin troops, which makes them a lot stronger. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But this definitely makes them a lot more powerful, and it gives you your own roster of troops to kind of signify that, you know, you're getting into good relations with the Chaos Dwarfs. They are providing you with more armor, more weapons, more strength in general for you to go and crush all the puny little ones around your area. So Ghark looks absolutely amazing. It does take you back to that White Dwarf article about him, obviously with the mount too. It's so cool. Keep in mind, in custom battles, he shows up as a hero, but he's a legendary lord in campaign. He is your legendary lord, your faction leader. But yeah, just look at him. It's so cool. Very good stats all around, and he's just really, really fun to play. I've had a lot of fun playing as this faction. That's just something different for the ogres. Again, you can see that here. So when it looks towards the Ironskin units, right, they have a visual look. They're very, very different to what you're normally used to. We're not going to be showcasing a comparison between all the units because that would just be too much. But with the Iron Guts, it's a visual change and a few stat changes. It's not a lot because they're already strong enough as it is. And then when it goes to the bulls, there's a lot more of a change. They actually get so much stronger now. I love the fact that they have a visual change. It definitely does make it a lot more interesting. And in general, it's great. It is absolutely great. Again, I've been having a lot of fun with this faction because it's just nice to have a completely different style of play with these guys than you would get from the other ogres. Rather than focusing a lot on, you know, lead belches and stuff, you can just go full on melee, which you normally do anyway, but you know what I mean. Not so much magic, just real slam your head into the wall and just demolish everything type of situation. You can see all the troops in this clip here where we'll just be panning over them and just showing the stats. You've got a lot of stuff to play with. You've got a lot of stuff to upgrade. You can even do so with the giants. So technically, now you have your siege giant. Again, all these troops are pretty strong. You can see from the stats, they get really supercharged, which is great if you're going to decide to start fighting with Archaon. As you know, Archaon is quite a hard faction to deal with, as by the time that you get to him, he's usually unlocked all his spells and so on, so he's quite strong. You're going to want to take out the rest of his army rather than focus on him, and you don't want to deal with, you know, him hitting you too hard. You're still going to take a lot of damage. Keep in mind that your heavy armor will become nullified if you're dealing with a lot of stuff with armor piercing and so on. But it's great, and you have a lot more resistance to range because of your armor too, just in general, arrows and so on. So overall, I think that the unit roster is pretty good, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's a pretty good mod overall. We're going to be showcasing a little battle here. A randomly generated corn army, which normally does have some anti-large, with an army for just the new types of troops, led by a tyrant and obviously Ghark, which is mounted. I want to talk to you about my experience with this mod. I think this was great. I've had no bugs, barring that little graphical issue with the warband upgrade, but it's not too much of an issue, I'd say. I think it's pretty good. Honestly, I think it's really, really good. I think it really brings in a breath of fresh air for the ogres. If you're looking to play them again, but you don't want to deal with Greasus again, even though Greasus got a little buff recently, or you don't want to play as Scrog, it's always nice to see faction mods come in and add in a little bit of flavor for already established races and giving them a bit of a unique spin on things. This is definitely something that you guys should want to try out because it is honestly really, really fun. I will have a link there in the description below just in case you guys want to try it out, or you just want another legendary lord moving around through the campaign, because I know there's some people who download the mods, don't play with those factions, but just like seeing another faction pop up here and there. I'm excited that we're getting a lot more mods coming out again. It's obviously something that has been slowing down, but obviously modders wanted to wait because it makes sense to wait, because of the DLC coming out. It's going to break all your mods and so on. So yeah, this is great. We're getting back into the whole full Steam things. Yeah, the mod, again, will be found in the description below. Try it out. You're going to like it. With all that being said, I'll let the rest of the battle play out, and have a nice day. Let me know what you guys think about the mods in the comments below. Let's have a bit of a discussion. Everything feels like we're finally seeing the drought end, so I'm really happy. Let's hope this continues. Have a great day, everyone.
Boss on the move! Looking for grab! Drive! Drive on the move! Moonfang cavalry! Follow the Moor's call! Time and moving! Take it all! Boss Ogre! Bring us meat! Off we go! Bring it! Take it all! Drive on the move! Get it done! Tribe! Great War, save us! More cavalry! Here we go! Let Bertsche! Meal time! Stop him! Watch me go! Rip out their throat! When do we eat? Bring us meat! Ogre Diamond! The more calls! Killing time! The undefeated ruler!